If you want to see how I created this fall inspired wall art, stay tuned. Okay, so I found this vintage 1975 calendar page in the back of this picture that belonged in my grandmother and grandfather's house, and I had to find a way to incorporate this into some sort of craft. So super excited to do this. Brings back a lot of memories. Just looking at the picture from my childhood. So anyway, yeah, I found it in there, and what I'm gonna do now is actually try to fix the tears and everything that were in this calendar page. This is from October of 1975. And I'm just going to use some regular old Scotch tape. What I'm doing is trying to eliminate the space between the tear, if you will, so that you don't see, I guess, the white paper, but in between the tear, if that makes sense. Make it as seamless as possible, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm just using regular old Scotch tape. I'm not an archivist by any means or anything like that, but I did want to kind of preserve it as best I could so that we could move on to the next step. I cannot tell you how excited I was to see that. I was trying my best to remember that year and Halloween, and if I'm not mistaken, that year I dressed up as a pirate. And I remember the little plastic mask that they had back then, with the rubber string around the back that you just pulled over your head, and the rubber string held it on your face. Oh gosh. But anyway, I'm just reminiscing, but yeah, it's fun to think back to those days. And as you can see, I had to figure out something to do with this page. Okay, so now we're ready for the next step, which is to go to my printer and print a copy. So that's what I did. It's not as vibrant and as pretty as the original, but it will serve its purpose for what I'm going to be doing with it. Right here, I am tearing away the sides because I didn't want a clean straight edge, and I did want to get rid of that white border that prints off. I probably could have changed it in the settings, but I'm trying to keep this as simple and easy as possible. So yeah. This last piece tore like a dream, but it wasn't too bad. I just didn't want to take away too much from the picture. So now that we've gotten all that done, what I'm going to do now is actually take a antiquing ink, if you will, or a ink that will make it look vintage. It's a mustard color, and I'm trying to distress, should I say, the edges to make it look even more vintage. And I'm just brushing it around the torn part because that was another reason why I tore the edges, so that it would look a lot older, I guess, if you will. So yep. Now I'm going to do a dry run to see which way I want to place the picture on my board here, and I like it this way because you can see the slats a lot better. I got a bunch of these from Michael's, I want to say about a year ago, on clearance for like $1 and something out of their clearance aisle, and I knew I would find a way to use them eventually. So here we are. So now I'm taking a dampened sea sponge, and I'm going to go around the edge of the picture because I want a good adhesion to the board, because I'm going to do a little extra something to it once it's adhered down. Now that I have the picture all saturated with Mod Podge, I'm laying it down and smoothing it out, and I love the way it looks. It is so cute. I love it. I cannot wait to hang this in my kitchen. I feel like I have a piece of my childhood and a good memory of my grandparents in there. So now I'm going around the edge again with that same sea sponge and Mod Podge and making sure I get a smooth surface right there. And I'm just taking my finger and smoothing out the bubbles and all that good stuff. And then I'm gonna go on top and just seal it all in with the Mod Podge. And I'm using the matte Mod Podge. I didn't want the glossy. And I'm using the sea sponge because I just feel like I have a little better control, and I like the texture of the Mod Podge once it dries, using the sponge instead of a brush and strokes, if that makes sense. So yeah. Okay, now I'm taking that same ink that we used earlier and the same sea sponge that I've rinsed out, and I'm going to go around the edges and sort of yellow that area because I want the picture to look as though someone tried to peel it off and left some of the paste or adhesive that may have, you know, had the picture stuck to the board, if you will. I just wanted it to look really, really old and, you know, almost to the point where somebody was trying to, you know, recycle or refurbish. But yeah, I did want it to look like it had been peeled up. And I'm loving how this looks. It's almost like it's giving it, I guess, a sepia tone around the edge, if that's the color I'm thinking, but I just like how this looks. I don't know. You may not. Tell me in the comments down below, but I think it is so cute. I am so excited to find this. I just couldn't wait to figure out something to do with it. It almost looks as though it's like a little window in the past once you hang it. And I love, love, love how it looks. I cannot wait to show you what it looks like in my kitchen once I start decorating for fall. But here it is on the wall. So thanks for watching. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.